Hey everybody out there, this is Kris Nicholson. I'm sitting at my 7-foot Young Chang semi-concert grand piano. This piano is a rescue piano. When I first got this piano, a little story about it. I first got this piano and it was on its side. What happened is that this piano was actually given to me for free. It didn't come with the lyre, it didn't come with the bench, it didn't come with the lyre, it didn't come with any legs. So, it was at a piano store, just on its side, so I had to match up everything. This was kind of a little bit, a challenge for me when I first got this piano. This piano had, it had termites to it, and it only had termites on the key slip and the cheeks. And I checked the action, when I first got it. There was no termites on the action. And I was like, thank God for that. A little bit on the, the key bed, like underneath the key bed. So what happened is that before I even put this piano in my house, I took it to the vault. And I left it in the vault for a week. I told them, I said, please, keep it in there for 2 weeks. They said, oh, don't worry. You put it in there for a week, you can, everything inside of it will be killed. So I'm like, great, that's good. But before I put the piano inside of a vault, what happened is that I cleaned out all the inside. I took out all the strings. I cleaned the action. I changed the action. So I left the original action inside of it before I changed it, because it was all Young Chang and everything like that. Now, the termite vault that I actually put the piano in was the same piano right behind me. I put that Nickelodeon inside because it had termites on the legs. And so, ever since then that we put that piano in, we had no problem with termites. So I trusted these people, and until this day, I haven't seen one termite, which is good. This piano had lizards. This piano had palmetto bugs living in it. It was on its side. It was very sad. I polish. You're not going to believe this. I polished the whole cabinet. Back then, I didn't know that I can actually use car polish for it, which a lot of people told me I could. But I polished the whole cabinet with Brasso. The Brasso that you use to actually clean the pedals and everything. So I'm going to bring you just a little bit closer, because I just wanted to show you guys. What else did I do? Not only did the piano was polished, but also I put brand new strings in it. This is a copy of a Yamaha C7, so what I did is I got the same patterns from the Yamaha C7. I had to do it from the older model because there's so many C7s. So this was a C7F, same pattern. And those strings are high quality Mapes strings, but they wound them just the same way as the Yamaha C7. And a friend of mine got me these strings right over here, which is the treble strings. And what happened is that they're titanium steel, just the same titanium steel that's on the Ravenscroft. They're extra luster, so they will not rust at all. And I haven't had any rust stains on the piano, which is pretty cool. When I first got this whole area was just, it was terrible. There was so much stuff on the soundboard. The soundboard was corroded. And all I had to do is basically polish it off. I use Fabuloso, and I use Glass Plus, and after that I use rubbing alcohol. Whatever I can use just to clean it. That's exactly what I did to it, because it was filthy. It was just really filthy. So what happened is that, and you guys probably don't see the music rest, but I have the music rest right here. This is the music rest for the piano, and you're not going to believe it. This part over here, this is all Young Chang. This is Yamaha. Yamaha right here matches it perfectly. So this piano is a mutt. It's a mutt. It's now, or I should say, it's a K Nicholson. The legs that I got, these legs right here are from a Leicester concert grand. And they gave me the Leicester concert grand too, but the legs were separated from the Leicester, and that grand was totally demolished. I thought I was going to make something really, really good out of it, and then when I saw live termites in there, that piano infected this piano with the key slip and the cheek block. So if you guys can help me get a new key slip and new cheek blocks, point me a link or something like that, I'll be gladly, thankful for you guys to do that. So these are Leicester legs, which and I like them a lot better than the young Chang legs because they have a little bit more, what was I going to say, stabilization on there. The lyre right there, the lyre is a Kauai lyre. So if you look at the Kauai lyre, the Kauai usually uses blue felt, and I took it out of the box, and the box said Kauai. So that's a Kauai lyre with, the lyre rods. The lyre rods are Samick. So I got the Samick lyre rods, and also I got the Samick support rods. So those are Samick. The action of this piano, well, the keys are young Chang because only a couple keys got water damage, and when I played one note on this piano, it stayed down. That's it. It couldn't play. The hammers didn't even trigger. So I had to rebuild the whole action. I had to rebuild the whole hammers. There was hammers that were coming loose because it had so much water damage. It was unbelievable. So the action on this piano is, remember my white piano that I made into a digital? It's a Samick action right there. I didn't like the hammers on the Samick. So what I did is I changed it out with with Yamaha hammers. So it has Yamaha hammers, Samick action, Yamaha hammers, and different other parts to it. So at first, what I did is that I got a Mason and Hamlin piano technician to come and do this for me. I was like, okay, what can we do? How can I help? How can you help me with this piano? He took this piano and he made it playable. So now I can play it really, really good. Then, so my Mason and Hamlin technician regulated the action. So he made it playable, which was very good because some notes were doubling, some notes were, it was just terrible. This whole piano, it just kept on, it was not playable, and I didn't realize. I was like, okay, maybe I should just fix it up and sell it. That was my thought. I was going to fix it up and sell it. So what happened is that he came back again, and he came back again, and redid the whole action. Now every note. Every note plays. Every note plays. And it sounds great. So after he did the action, and what I should have done, and I'm going to have him come back and do the action again, I put the player system inside of it. Because the player system this is a QRS. This is a QRS Pianomation 2000 CD. So I put the player system inside of it. I'm very experienced in player systems. I know how to work player systems. Before it had the Pianomation, this piano had a piano quarter system inside of it. So I had to take out all the old piano quarter stuff out of it and put the Pianomation into it, and it worked perfectly. So I had to cut the hole a little bit bigger, resize it, make sure it was great good. The only thing about it is that before I had two pedals working, now I only have one pedal working. You always lose the middle pedal every time you put in a Pianomation or any kind of player system. So now I'm on a mission to get this pedal back and working so it could shift the keyboard back over. I still have the parts for it, which is really good. So what I did is I put the player system in there, and I hope I got the right song, but let's try it out. It's supposed to be playing. What's going on here? Oh, I didn't press play. Come on. There you go. Let's get something else that's really nice. Like that. And the player was easy. Installing the player system in myself, I did that. I took the player system off of another piano that I had, and the piano I got for free too, so that was no problem. So I was like, why not just put it in here? And that's exactly what I did. Okay, you got a beautiful piano, you just did the action over by a Mason and Hamlin technician. Why did you put a player inside of it and then mess up the action? I did have to re-alterate the action because of the player system, which I did. The reason I wanted the player system is because I wanted to hook it up to my studio. Right in back of this, you have 3 jacks. You have the MIDI in, out, and through jack. And I could just run a huge MIDI line straight from the organ also, or to my studio, straight into the piano. So if I wanted real piano parts playing, it can play the piano part, and I don't have to really do anything, just control it from the studio. So that was the main reason why I got the player system. As in the rest of the piano, I basically got it to play because I love. It has such a good twinkly, great twinkly sound to it. So what I recently did with this piano is that I revoiced it. When I first revoiced it, it was revoiced very, very sharp, very, very high. That it was very, very piercing to the ears that my artists, every time they came in, they're like, Kris, the piano is too freaking sharp. Is there any way you can soften up the hammers? You can So I revoiced it, and that I learned how to do it on YouTube. So it took many revoicings just to do that. And now the intonation. And what I want this piano to sound like, Chang is mostly not a professional brand. Back then it was so good. Just like this is a 1995. I looked up the year on this piano. It's a 1995. So this is actually supposed to be for elaborate homes, a big, a concert grand, semi-concert grand, elaborate homes and everything like that. This is not a professional piano. This actually was considered as the poor man's Yamaha, and also the poor man's Hamburg Steinway. So a lot of young Changs that I play do not sound like this at all. So when I change the hammers, change the action, change the strings, it sounds much better than. Sorry, and I'm playing the wrong notes. But it sounds much better than it did when I first got it. And then at the same time, this is another thing. The place where I got it from, they had another one of these on the floor. It was not a mint condition, it was an okay condition just like this. I played that, and it didn't even sound like a grand piano. It didn't sound right. It's because that's all Chang parts. When I played the piano on here. So now, finally, I got the piano that I wanted to sound, that I wanted to play by itself, and I got this all for free, everything for free. Only thing that I had to actually pay for was the treble strings, and the treble strings was like around $500 because it's titanium steel. And my friend, till this very day, will not tell me exactly where he got them from. So, just in case if a string breaks, I did order the Makes high quality strings, and when I ordered them, then my friend, he said, well, you shouldn't order the Makes. You should just come back to me and I could get the titanium steel. I'm like, well, what if one breaks? Which I ordered them, and not only I ordered them for this piano, but I ordered them for the other pianos around here because I want to try to redo them all over again. He said, if you put a made string inside of this piano, which has titanium steel, it's not going to sound the same. The tonation is going to be different, and I believe it. So now I'm afraid to put Mapes treble strings inside of my piano. But I want you guys to look that up to see what's the matter, Morris. Come on. My partner's away, so Morris is kind of looking for him. And Morris will climb in the piano, so, just make sure he doesn't. But, I cannot put Mate strings inside of a piano that has titanium steel. Because it's like putting, how should I say it? It's like putting, angel hair pasta mixed in with udon noodles, So I can't do that. So I'm very happy with this piano. Now I don't want to sell it. I was instantly just gonna trade it off to get a smaller. I was gonna get a Yamaha C3, which I had before. I had a C3, I had a G2, I had a G3, but I wanted a bigger piano. So now honestly, I like this piano better than the Yamahas that I had. Because the Yamahas, as much as I tried to control the tone of them, they kept on getting brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter, which I love because of the kind of music I did, and I love the action of it, but I wanted a nice grand piano sound. The reason is that the very first piano song that I've ever did was Imagine. So, every grand piano, and even every upright piano that I play, and even every digital, I play those songs. I mean, I play that song Imagine just to test out the piano. Because that was my first song that I won a piano competition in. That was the first song that ever made me fall in love with the grand piano. Because back then I just had uprights. And till this day, I use two songs. I use this song, which is Imagine. And that's a main note right there, see? So I use that song as a test song. The second song that I use is Desiree, which my friend Mike Hamill, he wrote that song, and he said, Chris, can you write the piano part to that song? So I'm like, yeah. So I go, what made me also keep this piano? I had a lot of artists. I had a lot of artists come over to my house when they were doing studio recordings and play this piano. They said, Chris, this is a piano that I would have in my house. When they said that to me, I got goosebumps just thinking about it. When they said that to me, I was like, are you serious? I said, because honestly, I was going to trade it. I was going to trade this for a Yamaha C3. I was just gonna downsize smaller because I didn't want to take up too much room in the house. How many pianos do I have? So he said, no, Chris, keep this piano. Keep it. You're not selling it. Keep this piano. They said a lot of them told me they'll be pissed if I sold this piano. They said if I ever sell this piano, they would trade me their piano. Which one of my friends did have a Yamaha C3, and he said, listen, this sounds way better than my C3. I'm like, are you kidding me? I played the C3. I like the C3. I thought that sounded better. And to this day, he doesn't play his piano. I'm like, are you kidding me? He said, I want you to come over and whatever you did to this piano, try to do to my C3, and then I'll replay it back again. So that's another job for me. But as many artists as came over and sat down and played the piano, and then after that, we did some studio work in my studio. I decided to keep it. I decided to keep this piano, even though it has mix-match, or not mix-match, it has like legs from a different piano, has a lyre from a different piano, strings, and action from a different piano. So I decided to keep it, and now I just absolutely love it. And not that many, I mean, I don't fall in love with pianos instantly. It has to be a certain connection that you have with the piano. And for this piano, it didn't sound like how it did before. I absolutely love it. of people's going to ask me, okay, this is a good grand piano. How come you're not playing boogie woogie on it? Well, one thing about it is that I just tuned the piano. I don't want to make it out of tune. But what I'll do is just for your enjoyment, I'll play a little soft boogie. What if I go up? You hear that noise. So I gotta take out the hammer, re-glue it back again, and I am happy, ladies and gentlemen. I am very happy with my young Chang piano. As I said, I was also gonna upgrade, or I was going to downsize. I was gonna upsize or downsize. So I was like, okay, Kris, which way do you want to go? You basically have the next step up from a concert grand, which is a 9-footer. The 9-footer that I was going to get was a Baldwin SD. No, I'm sorry, it was not an SD10. It was SD6. So I was going to get the Baldwin SD6, which is a 9-footer, but it's missing a lyre. And I was still thinking about doing it, but ever since I got this, and my partners that live in the house with me, they said, Kris, don't change the tone on the piano. Leave the piano the way it is now. He said, whatever you did with it, the piano sounds 10 times or 100 times better than what it sounded like before. And I said, well, honestly, I was just going to sell it, either downsize. No. They said, no. I said, no, you're not downsizing. I said, okay, then I was going to upsize to a Baldwin grand. And they looked at it, and I said, they said, Baldwin? I said, you know how much time you took on this piano? I'm like, yeah. Okay, why would you upsize to a Baldwin concert grand? And Baldwin is really, I mean, it's basically, to me, the Baldwin is almost the same league as the young Chang. It's not really a name that much anymore, but people still love Baldwins, people still love young Chang. But, and I measured and measured. I was like, okay, a 9-foot grand, 9-foot Baldwin grand. 9-foot Baldwin grand from here, it'll come out to right here. And it'll be nice to have. It'll be very, very beautiful to have. But the Baldwin is not high polish. It's a satin. It's an old Liberace edition. Well, it's a black satin grand, right? So I thought about it again and again and again. I'm like, looking at my piano from a distance, and I said, nah, I'm going to keep this piano. I'm going to definitely keep this piano. Now, what I do have to work on this piano is I have to give it brand new dampers, because there's some ringing in some notes, and I can show you. Like that. I already have the dampers. I just have to put them on. And one of these days I just got to encourage myself, Kris, today you're just going to do dampers. Damper work is very, very hard. And you have to basically know what you're doing. You have to take a lot of measurements. You have to be precise when it comes to dampers. I did damper work on my mother's Steinway. She has a Steinway M piano. Steinway M grand piano. I did dampers with her piano, and that took me at least 2 hours. 2 hours just to do that. And because I wanted to make sure everything was very, very precise. But you know what? I got to do it again. But this time, instead of this time I got to put the brand new dampers on, and just encourage myself to actually do it again, because this is a piano that I am going to keep forever and ever and ever. So, thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Please click like, subscribe, follow me on everything. Oh, before I go, let me see if you guys have any questions. See if you guys have any questions. And there's no questions, but it's okay. It's perfectly all right. Because I don't think anybody signed on yet. Swipe to the left to review comments. Yeah, nobody even signed on yet, but it's okay. You guys will watch this video. I just wanted to show you my piano. And thank you so much for watching this video. Please click like, subscribe, follow me on everything. Go to my website, www.krisnicholson.com. Thank you very much.